So a lot of people have a lot of assumptions kind of about this movement. They have a lot of assumptions. I know, especially my community, the people I know, and the friends I talk to, even the students I talk to, have a lot of can seem like they have a lot of assumptions, presuppositions about the movement itself, and especially the anti-lockdown one, and kind of what it represents. Um, with your experience, how much of them are just like just put out there, like they're not really true, or how much of them are really true? Like,
What
is
do
there
you
any
mean?
circumstance to it? So like there's a lot of they're kind of like there are a lot of people who are anti-lockdown movement
Yeah,
people are avid Trump supporters. That's all of them.
yeah,
And or these guys are just they care about money more than their own health and safety.
mm,
A lot of they don't really care about other people, they just care about themselves. Like that's
right,
kind of how people see the movement a lot.
yeah.
Is that true, or is there more like underlying matters when it comes to it?
Hmm, Good question. Um, I don't know. Hmm. I mean, look, I think, I think the economic impact of the quarantine was rough. It was not easy for sure, and it probably seemed a lot worse then than it is now. I mean, right now the economic indicators are looking quite good. And
Mhm.
this is before this big stimulus package. I mean, I read recently that the GDP in America actually went up last year, and that's because of the very generous stimulus package from the Trump administration. So, but at the time, I think they were worried about, there were a lot of people who were worried about their jobs and the economic future for sure. But what we've also seen over last summer is the power of QAnon. We've seen the power of these conspiracy groups. And listen, these militia groups, Michigan is, for whatever reason, Michigan has always been a hotbed of these militia groups.
Mhm.
Way back in the 90s, there a guy by the name of Timothy McVeigh blew up the federal building in Oklahoma City and killed
Mhm.
200 some people, which is the largest domestic terrorist attack in U.S. history. And it was at the time it was revealed that he had connections to the Michigan militias. So these guys have always been there, and they've always been, fed on these conspiracies that, when you see excessive government action, this is going to be tyranny. And, they saw that, and this
Mhm.
rang alarm bells. And, for the rest of us to sit around and say, well, that's ridiculous. Of course it's ridiculous. But I mean, the digital age has pointed out that these conspiracies really grip people, like they,
Mhm.
it's, they have such a grip in people. And so something as remote as or as abstract as a state lockdown in Michigan is going to send off alarm bells. Like, this is the beginning of government tyranny. I don't know where these people get these ideas from. This is something I've marveled at myself.
Mhm.
But I'm not surprised that they act on these concerns. But again, like, I don't know how to rationalize them. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, I very much agree. As a person who has been diving deep into a lot of different conspiracy theories, or just learning a lot about people are gaining information now these days, I see kind of how social media and places like YouTube have kind of been I call it a cesspool of
Yeah,
misinformation, fake news, and it makes it seem like, if especially on YouTube, if your subscriber count is high,
yeah,
what you're saying, your setup looks nice, apparently whatever you're saying must be true.
that's right.
um and it limits people, or it it kind of makes a lot of the you can say kind of the world or community a little lazy in doing their own research and
That's
trying to
right.
back up their own statements. And because it kind of makes like whatever you're saying, oh, it has to be true because look at this guy, look at his presentation,
I
look at
know.
his subscriber count.
That's right.
And if people agree with it, it's just like, oh, it just backs up even more. But then if you did the research for yourself, you'd be just like, and you were honest about your research, that's a whole integrity um, field right there. You realize that, okay, that's just hearsay. That's just
Mhm.
like that's a crazy theory. There's no
Yeah.
basis off that.